everyone. Welcome to this chair yoga practice. Just a reminder, as you go through this class, you're releasing me of any liability in case you would get injured. So just listen to your own body. If I tell you to do something and you know that's not right for you, then just don't do that pose. If you have any kind of hip injury and the leg movements I'm going to show you aren't right, then just do the arm movements, vice versa for the arms. Just eliminating anything that you know isn't safe for you, anything that causes pain, don't do it. If you're in a pose and you get into pain, then stop. Okay? So just doing this video at your own risk. So just sitting forward slightly in your chair, just softly close your eyes. Now, as you breathe in and out, just let the outside world go. As you turn inward, giving your time for your mind and your body to come into a peaceful place. Connect to your breathing. Feel the inhale. Feel the exhale. Feel the abdomen and chest rise and fall with your inhale and exhale. Feel where your feet are connected to the earth. Feel your hips connected to the chair. You feel where your hands are connected to your body. Allowing a feeling of peace to flow over the body. And a clear quality come to the mind. And on the next exhale, allow your chin to softly drop downward toward the chest. Not pulling it in too far, just a softening, dropping down. And then while that chin's into the chest, slowly windshield wipe that chin from shoulder to shoulder. Bringing a little lift on each side. Keeping the eyes softly closed. Coming into 2 rounds per side. Pause at center. And inhale to head up. Keeping the eyes softly closed, tall spine. Exhale, rotate the gaze all the way left. Inhale as we come back to center. Exhale. Big inhale. Slow exhale as we turn that head all the way to the right. And then coming back through center. Softly opening the eyes. Allow the arms to swoop up overhead. Palms connect, spine grows long. And then exhale down to heart. Spine stays long, but chin drops to chest, and we're looking at our fingertips. And then big inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop back down. Now one more. Inhale up. While your arms are up, spread your fingers apart. Think of a beautiful sunrise. And then on your exhale, bend your elbows, tuck your elbows under your ribs, close your fingers. Think of a sunset as we take that gaze down to the left. Another beautiful sunrise. Arms draw up, fingers open, maybe look up. Sunset. Coming down, closing those fingers. And then draw the arms back skyward. Gaze straight ahead. We're going to come into a forward fold. So if you have any type of back issue, you're going to want to come into just a half fold. So we're going to start out with that. We're going to bend our elbows. Our palms are going to connect to our thighs. And we're going to hinge forward just as far as feels good, looking down at the earth. Now you can stay here, or if it's safe for you, release your hands. Let them slide down the front of your shins to your feet, and still keep that head up. We want to be looking down at the mat, but we do not want to drop our crown down. So I keep my gaze lifted. Then I'm going to slide up. I'm going to come into that half lift. Then I'm going to melt back down. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to place my fingers on my shoulder. And then I'm going to draw my elbow up and out. Coming into a little rotation. Hand release back down, hand to foot or shin. Left side, connect to shoulder, draw the elbow up and out. Release back down, and then I'm going to reverse swan dive. So I'm going to flip those palms forward. I'm going to scoop the energy around my body up, and then I'm going to release to heart. So we're going to do 2 more of those, going with your breath. So we're going to do it a little faster this time now that we all know the flow. So inhale up. Exhale, half fold, staying here or releasing down. Inhale up, half lift. Exhale, melt down. Right hand to right shoulder, lifting the elbow up and out. Release down, and the left. Lift up and out. Release down, reverse swan dive, swoop up, rise up. Exhale, heart. 1 more. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, half fold. Maybe release into full fold. Slide up again for half lift. Exhale, we melt. Right hand to shoulder, lifting that elbow up and out, twisting. Releasing back to center and left, twisting. Releasing back to center, hands on feet, reverse swan dive, swoop up, rise up. Exhale down. And release. We're going to come into our first simple seated twist. So scooting very close to the edge of your chair. Anytime we twist our spine, we want to make sure that spine is nice and tall. We don't want to twist with a rounded back because we could hurt our spine. So making sure we're sitting tall, lifting that crown up, pressing that tailbone down. Left hand goes to right knee. My right hand's going to come behind my back, attached to the chair. I have that length through my spine as I exhale, taking that gaze over to the right. Just breathe here. And notice how your first twist feels. This is where our back's maybe a little tight. And we feel that a little bit. We almost feel maybe a little resistance in that spine to twist. Release through center. And now my left hand comes behind my back, my right hand to my knee. Again, I have that length in my spine, and I exhale, twist. Now, we're going to come into a little flow where we're going to twist back and forth 3 times. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to take my arms in T position, and I'm going to rotate over to the right. Hold, come through center, and to the left, hold. Come through center, take it to the right, hold. Come through center, take it to the left, hold. So we're waking our spine up a little bit. One last time, take it around, hold, 2 breaths. And notice here when we hold. Maybe it doesn't feel as tight as that first rotation did. Release and take it other side and hold. And release. We're going to come into side leans now. So I want you to imagine you're between a pane of glass. Think of those trucks that you see holding glass as they go down the highway. So we're mushed in a little container here. We can't go forward because we have that wall in front of us. We can't go back because we have a wall behind us. But we can go right and left, laterally. So I want you to bring that to mind as we come into this flow. Right hand goes down, left arm comes up. We have that length through our spine again, and then just lean completely to the right. As far as feels good. You don't have to take it real deep. Inhale up, that arm floats down, other arm floats up. And exhale, lean and hold. And then the same as our twist. We're going to come into a little flow back and forth. So we're just switching those arms, and then we lean. We come fully back upright, switch our arms, and then we lean. So making sure you're doing this slow and mindfully, making sure that spine comes up, transition arms, then lean. And last time, come up, transition arms, and lean. And come up. Heel toe the feet apart just a little bit. Put your hands on your knees or your thighs, fingers pointed in. Tall spine, make a circle here. Circling that upper body around. About 3 big circles, and then take it the other way for 3. Connecting to breath, circling around. So all these stretches we're doing are really good for back tightness, tension. So now we're gonna open our feet up. Think about as wide about as the front legs of your chair. And I know it's hard to see my feet on this video, but I have my feet turned out just a little bit. So I'm not completely out, but my toes aren't completely straight either. They're out just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my right hand to my right knee. I'm going to take my left hand. It's going to come on top of that. I've turned my torso slightly to the right, and then I'm going to hinge forward over that thigh. Now when I do this, I make sure that my sits bone, my left sits bone, stays on that chair. And I breathe here. And you can feel that release in your hip and low back, stretching it out. Inhale, come up. Left hand on left knee, right hand on top, and hinge down. So all these things are really good to do in the morning or before bed. Really anytime your back gets tight. But those are a lot of times when we feel the most tension and tightness in our back. Come up. Keep your legs the way they are. Now we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So again, my fingers are pointed in. My elbows are slightly out. I have that nice length in my spine. Exhale as I hinge forward. And I'm going to look down at that mat. Hold here and breathe. 3 full breaths. Feel that low back stretch and release. If you feel too much of a stretch, just bring your body upright a little bit. And then inhale, come up. And heel toe, heel toe, heel toe in. We're going to go up on our right toes now. And we're going to wrap our hand around the front of that shin below the knee, and we're going to draw that leg up into our body as we sit tall. Now, you have 2 options here. You can keep a hold of the thigh, one hand on each side as we do this flow, or you can open your arms up, so your choice. So I'm going to show you the modification first, where I'm going to take my hands on either side of the thigh, and I'm going to release my leg, and I'm going to bend and pull it up slightly, and then I'm going to release it out. Bend and pull it up. Now, if you want to come into the more challenging pose, we have our hands wrapped around the front of our shin, tall spine. We're going to open our arms up as that leg goes out. And we're going to exhale it in. Inhale as we open up. Exhale it. So you do what feels good in your hip, in your leg. If you need that support, hold on. If you don't, maybe try the arms. Last time, we're going to let that leg stay extended out. We're going to drop the heel. We're going to circle our arms around to our thigh. I grew tall again through my spine. I lifted through my heart, lifted through my crown, and I'm going to hinge from the hip hinges. So again, I'm not going to round my back, but I'm going to hinge forward. And I'm gazing at the top of my toes. Hold here and breathe. And inhale, come up. Draw that leg in. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, so you can support or not. Hold on to the shin. Draw it up and support or not as we extend. Hug it in. Support or not extend. Hug it in. Support or not extend. Hug it in. Support or not extend. Drop the heel down. Circle the arms around to the thigh. Tall spine, crown lifted. Hinge from the hip hinges, coming forward. Look at your toes. Connect it to breath. 3 full rounds of breath. And inhale, come up and draw that leg. We're going to take our arms out to the sides. Palms are open. Again, I have that length through my spine. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to take my arms up. Then I'm going to crisscross as I drop them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now I'm going to do that again. My opposite arm will come on top. So I inhale up. Now my opposite arm comes on the top. I drop it down to my lap. And then I draw it back up. And open up. We're going to do that one more time, each arm. So one more time with either the right or left on top. Open up. And then one more time the opposite way. Inhale. And exhale. Now I'm going to keep my hands where they are. I'm going to bend my elbows and I'm going to come into a half fold. Look down at your feet. Hold and breathe. And inhale. I bring myself back up. We're going to come into what's called eagle pose. So we can cross at the ankles. I can take my right foot and I can just cross at my ankles. I know you can't see my feet, but I'm just crossed at the ankles. Or if it feels good to you and it's safe in your body, I can completely cross my legs. So I can take that right leg over my left. Now I'm going to take my arms out. Now my arms are going to be opposite of that. So I'm going to take my right leg is on top, so my left arm is going to go on top. So I've created that little X. Now I'm going to bend my elbows, and I look like I have an X in front of me, and I'm going to scoot it so the backs of my hands touch. And maybe I lace my fingers slightly together, or I lock my thumbs. And then I'm going to sit tall, and I'm going to inhale. I'm going to draw those elbows up a little bit, and I'm going to press my legs gently together. Hold, breathe, and lower down. Going down about shoulder high. Tall, tall spine. I'm going to give it a little twist to the right. I'm going to come back through center. Sitting tall. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to give it a little twist to the left. Then I'm going to come back to center. Now I'm going to draw those elbows into my body as I hinge forward. My fingertips are pointed forward, and I don't let my forearms rest on my thighs. So I'm hovering here, working my core. Holding, breathing. Inhale, come up. Release arms, angel wing the arms. Release legs. Other side. So, left ankle crosses over right, or maybe I cross my legs. Whatever's available to me, that's what I'll do. Whatever feels good, that's what I'll do. And I stretch my arms out. Now my right arm is going to go over my left, so I'm opposite legs from arms. And I bend my elbows in the back and my hands connect. Maybe I lace those hands together. I sit tall, tall, tall spine, and I draw those elbows skyward. And I hold and I breathe. Pressing my legs gently together. And then I lower down right in front of my heart and my chest, and I sit tall, and then I rotate a little bit to the left. So this time we're going to the left first instead of the right. And I come back to center. I make sure my spine is tall, and then I take it to the right. And I come back to center. Now I draw those elbows into my body as I hinge forward from the hips. My spine stays long and tall. I'm hovering those forearms. I'm squeezing those legs gently together. Deep breaths in and out. And then I inhale up. I release my arms. I angel wings, and I release my legs. Maybe I swing my shoulders the other way. Now I'm going to scoot back about halfway in my chair. And I'm going to extend my legs out. And then I'm going to bring a lift to my legs, flex my toes up. And I'm going to bend my knees, my legs go down. And then I'm going to lift, my toes are lifted. And I bend and come down. And lift. And lower. So this is helping to strengthen your legs and your knees. Lower. Keeping that spine nice and tall. Lower one more time. Lift and lower. Now maybe I come into some high knees. Now I'm going to turn my body to the corner of the chair. So I'm not completely facing the side, but I'm going to line my rib cage and line my heart up with my left corner of my chair. So my left foot is facing the left and my right toes are pointed forward still. So what this is doing is helping to open that hip. Think of a garden gate, and we're opening that hip up. We're opening our gate. Now I'm going to scoot forward on that chair. So I am coming very close to the edge of that corner. I'm barely on that chair. I'm going to take my right hand. It's going to go to my hip. And I'm going to bend my left elbow. And my palm is up. And then I'm going to hinge onto that left thigh. So I lean into that left thigh and I take my gaze down to that open palm. I just hold here and breathe. 2 or 3 breaths, starting to open that hip. Just connect your breath, looking down at that palm. And then I'm going to come up. Now I'm going to turn so that I'm completely facing the side of the chair. I'm going to scoot to the outside edge and I'm going to take my outside leg and I'm going to kick the toe back. Now, maybe that knee is pointed down to the earth, or maybe I have that toe up a little bit so I have more of a slant. So whatever feels better in your body, you decide. I'm going to keep my gaze to the side. I'm going to raise up my outside arm. Maybe I'm holding onto my chair with my inside arm. And if I feel steady and I can let go, I'm going to raise up that inside arm as well. And now when my arms are up, I'm going to bring my awareness to my shoulders and I'm going to drop them down away from my ears. Because most of the time when we bring our arms up, automatically those shoulders scrunch up toward those ears. So I want to bring that awareness to that and I want to drop that down. Seated warrior one, palms are facing each other. If you have both arms up, gaze is straight, crown is lifted. And then I'm going to bring those palms down to that thigh. I'm going to hinge forward from my hips and I'm going to look down at my foot. And I'm going to hold here for 2 breaths. And then I'm going to lift up. And now I'm going to take this outside leg and I'm going to stretch it out. So I've straightened that knee and that leg is out to the side, but the toes are still pointing to the left. My right hand's going to connect to my chair. My outside arm's going to swoop up. I keep that gaze to the side and then I lean into my chair back and I hold here. Doesn't matter how far you lean. You do what feels good and then swoop up. Release the arm. And now I'm going to bring that leg in and I'm going to turn to the front of my chair. I'm going to take my hands to my thighs and I'm going to come into a half fold. And I'm going to lift back up. And I'm going to turn to the corner of the chair. Now I'm on the right corner. And remember, we scoot forward. So we're barely on that chair. Now my right toes are pointed to the right and my left toes are pointed forward. And I come back into that opening of that hip. I come back into that gate. I take my left hand, my outside hand on my hip. My right elbow bends, my palm is up. And then I hinge down onto that right thigh and I look at that open palm. And I connect here for 3 breaths. Breathing in and out, gazing at that open palm. And then I lift back up. Now I'm going to pivot completely to the side of the chair. I'm going to scoot on the outside edge as I take that outside leg. And I kick the toe back just as far as feels good. Maybe that knee is pointed all the way down. Maybe I have that slant. I'm gazing at the side of the room. I take my outside arm that comes up and maybe my inside arm for seated warrior one. And then I drop those shoulders down. I keep that gaze straight ahead, the side of the room. I hold here and breathe. And then I bend my elbows. I release my hands to my thigh. I keep my back straight as I hinge forward. Like you're looking over a cliff here. Look at the top of your foot. And rise up. Take that outside leg, stretch it out long. Holding on to the inside of your chair, swoop that outside arm up. Exhale, lean into your chair back. Doesn't matter how far, you decide what feels good. And inhale, come up. Draw the leg in and pivot back to the front of the chair and slide both legs out long. Or on our heels. We're going to come into staff pose. So we're going to take our hands to the side of the chair. The base of my palm is right on the edge of the chair. And I'm going to lift through my heart, lift through my spine. Now I'm not pressing into that chair to lift myself up. I'm not pressing into those arms, but I have that support there. My crown is lifted, my gaze is straight, my legs are extended out. And I connect to my breath. I feel that gentle body stretch. And then I draw one arm skyward and maybe the other. Again, bring your awareness to your shoulders, drop them down. And then take the palms forward, lower them to the thighs, keep your back nice and tall, and then slide those hands down toward the feet. Without rounding your back, keep your back nice and tall, relax your knees, look at your feet. Breathing in and out. And then draw that navel in as we lift. Bend one knee, then the other. Open the feet up, about as wide as the posts of the chair. We're going to come into seated cat and tilt. So we're going to put our hands on our thighs. As we inhale, bring the chest and heart forward. Look gently up, not all the way, and push those hips slightly back. Then on your exhale, we're going to round into ourselves. So we're going to round our spine. We're going to let our hands slide down maybe to the knees as our navel draws into our spine. So we're curling into ourselves. And then big inhale, the hands slide gently up the thighs as I lift. My shoulder blades draw slightly together. And then I exhale, hinging forward. Now I invite you to close your eyes and go with your own breath. Lifting on that inhale. Sliding into yourself. Curling inward on that exhale. Do one more at your own pace. Taking your breath, letting it be your guide. And then coming back to center, pause, connect to breath. And then on the next inhale, gently open your eyes. Fingers turn down and inward. Bring that big circle to the body again, about 2 times. And then the other way, about 2 times, circling around. Bring that to stillness and heel toe, the feet back together. Now softly close your eyes. Scoot back in your chair. Connect back to your breath. Scanning your body, notice how does it feel now before you came into this little practice. Maybe it feels a little lighter. Maybe the muscles feel a little more loose and free. Maybe the mind feels more at ease and calm. Feeling like almost like when you wake up from that little nap and you feel all refreshed. Just connect back to your breath in and out. Feel where your body has contact with the floor. Feel that floor underneath your feet. And then feel where your body has contact with your chair. Maybe your back, maybe your hips, maybe your legs. Maybe your hands have some support under them. Maybe they're on your lap, or maybe they're connected to the chair. Just start to notice all those points of connection. And feel how that body has support. Not much for the muscles to do now. They can just release themselves and relax. Notice how the abdomen and chest slightly rises and falls with the breath. And as you breathe, just notice that little lifting and sinking down. Every time you inhale, feel that little lift come to the body. As you exhale, feel that little descent down. Rising and sinking, rising and sinking. Like the ocean tide going in and out to the sand. Your body has that little rise and that little turning inward. Going in and out, just like that ocean tide. The past was once the present, and at that time it was important. When we dwell on the past, we ignore the wonderful things that are happening right before our eyes. The past plays a significant part in our lives and development. Presence does not ignore the past. It merely refocuses attention on what is right in front of us. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. So as you go through the rest of your day, just trying to stay in that present moment. Be noticing things in nature around you. Maybe taking a moment or two to bring your awareness to your breath. Letting everything else go but the breath and the present moment. So take a big inhale. Slow exhale. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then gently reopening the eyes. Bringing the hands together in front of you. Thank you for taking the time to connect both body and mind today, giving yourself this gift of rejuvenation and healing. And thank you for letting me be a little part of your day today. I hope you enjoyed this little practice and it brought you some peace of mind, both body and mind. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.